devotees have been calling for a scientific survey, including ground penetrating radar survey, are saying that this particular spot has been a Hindu temple earlier. Now that there are artifacts, there are structures even under what is now the Gyanvapi Mosque. So the ASI has in fact specifically been directed to ensure a complete scientific survey, including with the ground penetrating radar and other tests, which could show what is under and inside the walls and the floors of what currently is the Gyanvapi Mosque and the Kashi Vishwanath temple structure, which is currently in existence. The court in its order has said that since there is need for complete justice, since these are pleas that have been made, this issue must be considered by the ASI because of the demand that has been raised by the Hindu devotees asking for access to the temple, that access to the temple, etc., cannot be decided unless it is actually considered what is inside those particular premises. Back to you.
All right, that's Anisha Mathur telling us what is expected of the court as well. Let's go across now to Abhishek Mishra joining me for the latest on that. Abhishek, you've been tracking these developments since day one. Tell us, what is Varanasi looking like today? We're looking at the Rapid Action Force in blue that has been deployed. The team is there. Who in that team, apart from the administration, are present? Go ahead, Abhishek.
Well, absolutely, Pooja. It's a very important day today as far as the ASI survey is concerned. That has been always a big demand for the Hindu side. And just after the court released the order and they allowed this permission, today Varanasi is all talking about what all will come out in this survey, whether or not the claim which has been done by the Hindu side of the existence of this temple from a very long time is true, and whether there are some specific implications of it. So that is something which is a major talk of the town today, and at the same time, it is very important that a 30-member team has already reached at the spot. Now, with all their instruments, they will start the ASI survey in a short while. And also, it is very important that how the representatives from both the sides are also...
तो क्यों पीछे हट रहे हैं? पीछे हट रहे, इसका मतलब है कि उनके मन में खोट है, वो जान रहे सच्चाई को।
तो आज कहाँ का सर्वे होगा?
ये तो अभी जो हमारे टीम है वो तय करेगी।
कहाँ का सर्वे होना है? किन किन बिंदुओं पे सर्वे करेंगे?
कई बिंदु है, जैसे वो आपने देखा शिखर देखा है, शिखर के नीचे जो आप 3 गुंबद देखते हैं उसके नीचे शिखर बना हुआ है मंदिर का, वो तीनों शिखर है। उसके नीचे आप जमीन पे जाएंगे तो जब आप वहाँ पे पैर को अपने रखेंगे तो ऐसा जरा भी पैर वहाँ पटकेंगे ऐसा महसूस होगा कि अंदर खोखला है, कुछ ना कुछ तो है। तो वो सत्य जो छुपाया जा रहा है वो सारा सामने आएगा। हम लोग की आस्था के साथ आज से विज्ञान भी जुड़ जाएगा।
आप लोग खुशी भी बहुत जाहिर कर रही हैं।
Let's listen into a ground report sent by our colleagues and what the lawyer has to say on the Gyanvapi scientific survey by the ASI. Let's listen in.
वाराणसी के ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद परिसर में आज सर्वे की कार्रवाई थोड़ी ही देर में शुरू होने वाली है। देख सकते हैं हमारे साथ आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया की टीम यहां मंदिर पर पहुंच गई है। अधिकारी हैं जी, अपना किस तरह का सर्वे हो रहा है, कौन कौन सी तकनीक अपना रहे हैं, कुछ बताइए। देखिए, तमाम विभाग के लोग हैं, मंत्रालय के लोग हैं, संस्कृति विभाग के हैं और पुरातत्व विभाग की टीम है। इनसे बात करने की कोशिश फिर से करते हैं कि किस तरह का सर्वे हो रहा है, किस तरह की जांच होगी, क्योंकि जो समय निश्चित किया गया था वो 7 बजे का बताया जा रहा था और कल वाराणसी के जिलाधिकारी ने खुद इसकी पुष्टि की थी। टीम लगातार मंदिर के 4 नंबर गेट से प्रवेश कर रही है और अब काफ़ी घंटों तक सर्वे होगा। पूरी टीम हमारे साथ यहाँ खड़ी है। किस तरह का सर्वे हो रहा है, कौन कौन सी तकनीक अपनाई जाएगी, कुछ जानकारी है जी? तो देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर कोई भी कुछ भी बताने से बच रहा है हम, लेकिन फिर भी बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे कि कुछ जानकारी निकल सके कि किस प्रक्रिया के तहत क्या क्या तकनीकों के तहत कार्रवाई होगी। लगातार टीम अंदर जा रही है और सर्वे की कार्रवाई अब थोड़ी ही देर में शुरू होने वाली है, लेकिन फिलहाल कोई भी अधिकारी, कोई भी विभाग का लोग कुछ भी बोलने से फिलहाल बच रहे हैं।
बहुत खुश है आज हम लोग सबने रात भर सोए नहीं हैं। इतना खुशी था हम लोग को कि हम लोग जाएंगे। जो कुछ पिछले पिछले कमीशन में नहीं मिला था, वो इस कमीशन सर्वे में हम लोग को मिलेगा देखने के लिए। आज से पूरी तैयारी हम आज हम लोग व्रत भी हैं, सावन का महीना भी है और बहुत कुछ मिलेगा आज।
सावन का तीसरा सोमवार भी है और आज हम लोग का सर्वे प्रारंभ हो रहा है। हम लोगों के लिए अच्छा है, बाबा की कृपा है और सर्वे शांति ढंग से हो जाए।
Both our colleagues, Anisha Mathur and Abhishek Mishra, continue to be with us. Anisha, so a quick word from you on the court proceedings. How have the Muslim side challenged this survey in the Supreme Court? How is that being heard? And also Abhishek continues to be with us. Abhishek, if I can take that question to you because you're on the ground as well. Hindu side right now, as we just heard, appears to be in sort of a jubilation. They feel that this is some sort of at least a vindication for their claims, that there is a survey at least that's taking place. How is the Muslim side objecting to it?
Well, Pooja, as far as this, ASI survey is concerned, the Hindu side has always spoken about the validation of it. In the court also during the arguments, they said that there are a lot of things which need to be discovered. They were okay with the fact that there should not be any disturbance as far as the physical attributes are concerned, or the Wajookhana, which is the restricted area. They want to know about the age and the relevance of this place and what all are the actual facts according to the survey. So that is what the demand has always been. And as far as the Muslim side is concerned, they've always said that it is not as per what is the places of worship. And they also spoke about that this will harm physically and in other way the property. And at the same time, they said there is no need for this as of now, because first there has to be a clarity on whether or not their claim existed or not. So that is something which has always been, an argument between both the sides. But after the court has given the order to go ahead with this ASI survey, and today with all the preparations, it looks like that now something will come out, even if it is a strong claim by the Hindu side. But it all remains to be seen in the report, which will be submitted by 4th of August. And before that, it's all about what all the ASI team will get and how the Hindu side, whether or not will get some, belief or some strong, evidences to their claim, which they have been making in the court throughout this proceeding. Yes.
Abhishek, go ahead, tell us, what is the procedure going to be like today of the ASI officials? A team of 30 officials of the Archaeological Survey of India are there. We saw them going inside the premises with the police, with the administration officials. What is the procedure going to be like? Are they going to be there throughout the day today in Varanasi?
Well, the time is from 7 in the morning to till in the afternoon, and it has been said that there will be no foundation for the time constraint, but it looks like that the team would like to finish it before the namaz time. So that is something which we are looking at it as of now, but there is no confirmation. But they will go one by one with the things there. It has been said that the 3 domes, including and the whole premises will be investigated. At the same time, they will also be looking at the western wall, which has the significance of the temple, which is a very important claim of the Hindu side. So that will also be taken into consideration. Now, how much time it will take, it all depends on the technique and the kind of expertise ASI has. They have said that there will not be any physical damage or any kind of damage to the property. And at the same time, a radar system is what has been said that will be used with the rays penetrating inside the premises will be able to give them a fair idea. But all the technicalities remains to be seen and remains to be declared by the ASI. But that is something which will be the part of the report majorly. But as of now, no officials are not saying anything about their procedure. But what we got to know that this will take some time, and it also depends whether this survey will not only be finished today, it will take some days as well. So they might go for another day or whatever time they require. That is something which will be done in a very proper way, technical way, as per the ASI team, which they are very equipped and at the same time
Very interesting. Stay on with me, Abhishek Mishra. These are the live visuals on your screen right now. One side there, you can look at the inside of part of that premises of the Gyanvapi Mosque. Did a temple stand underneath, and is it time for a survey to confirm that? After Ayodhya, there was a lot of clamour. Next for Gyanvapi as well, and for even Mathura, there had been references. But now it's big because a scientific survey is being done. You're looking at both the visuals of a heavy police deployment on one side and the ASI officials who have entered into the premises. I want to go across now to Advocate Hari Shankar Jain. He's been the one who has led it since day one with regard to this specific incident. Hari Shankar ji, आज का दिन कितना मायने रखता है? काफी साल से लड़ाई चल रही थी, लेकिन आज सिर्फ साइंटिफिक सर्वे बोला जाए, इसको किस तरह से पहला स्टेप आप देखते हैं? क्यों ये सर्वे जरूरी था इस केस के लिए?
देखिए, मैं विष्णु शंकर जैन बात कर रहा हूँ।
जी विष्णु, बताएं। माफी चाहती हूँ, मुझे लगा आप हरिशंकर जी बताएं। विष्णु, गो अहेड प्लीज।
देखिए, दिस सर्वे इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज दिस सर्वे विल प्रूव दैट वेदर द सो कॉल्ड स्ट्रक्चर इज अ मॉस्क और अ टेम्पल. The order of the district judge is very clear as to the areas where the survey is to happen, and also with the techniques and the methods that the ASI has to adopt during the survey process. The sacrosanct principle in this survey is that there will be no harm which will be caused to the structure, and without causing any harm, the survey will be completed. The ASI in implementations of the orders passed by the Honorable District Court Varanasi has started its proceedings, and I am hopeful and I am sure that ASI will be able to find out various unknown truths of Gyanvapi.
How much are you, Vishnu, as a legal team, as someone who has pursued it from day one, depending on this scientific survey? Because the Muslim side has already moved the Supreme Court. They have already asked that this survey needs to stay, that let the mosque stay as it is. How much do you think you will be banking on the scientific survey details?
No, obviously this is a very important report. I must tell you that the courts have power under Section 45 of the Indian Evidence Act to call for an expert opinion. And in matters like this, ASI is the answer. If someone is saying that this structure is dating back to Aurangzeb, is prior to Aurangzeb, all these controversies can only be solved by an expert and premium body like ASI. The Supreme Court has also taken this view time and again, way back in 1994 in Ismail Farooq case, also recently as Ram Janmabhoomi case in 2021 SCC page 1. So ASI is the answer for all these things, and we are hopeful that ASI will be able to reveal various truths which are hidden behind the sealed walls.
Vishnu, so my final question would be, what next from here on? Because it is a survey for now. Where do we go here with regard to Gyanvapi and Kashi Vishwanath? Because it has communal overtones. It is a sensitive case as well. Many have said to let's just bury it. Let it be. Let the temple be as it is. Let the mosque be as it is. What do you think should be the next step in the legal recourse that you are also taking on, Vishnu?
See, we are waiting. We have been told that the matter will be mentioned before the Supreme Court at 10:30. So me and my senior Harishankar Jain and our legal team will pursue the matter in the Supreme Court, and then we will head towards Varanasi as soon as the issue in the Supreme Court gets a green signal.
Vishnu, are you prepared for a longer legal fight? Because in Ayodhya case as well, we have seen the fight go on for several decades. Is your legal team, your father started it actually, you've taken on the mantle. Are you prepared for a longer legal fight as well, Vishnu?
We are prepared when we have taken up a case. Then obviously we are prepared for the entire legal course of action. And in this case also we are we have already succumbed to the legal process. We had filed the suit before the civil court of Varanasi, and the civil court in its wisdom has passed this order. We have contested this matter before the High Court. We have contested this matter before the Supreme Court. So we are definitely ready for all forums and for all kinds of legal issues to be resolved through courts of law, because this issue can only be resolved by court of law.
Vishnu, can you also help me understand why precisely as the Wazu Khana or the claimed Shivling area, that has not been made a part of this ASI scientific survey?
Wazu area, for a very specific reason. For the Wazu area, there is already an order passed by the Allahabad High Court on 12th of May 2023, where the single judge bench of the Allahabad High Court directed the ASI to conduct a survey in the Wazu area. Against that order, the Anjuman Intizamiya has approached the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has deferred the implementations of the orders of the Allahabad High Court. The next date in that matter is on 29th of August.
Okay, so, yes.
So that's the reason that the Wazoo area has been excluded. But for rest of the area, the trial is going on, and the district judge has exercised its powers under Order 26 Rule 10A and has appointed a scientific commission.
Is this going to be similar to taking photographs and imagery? Is this about carbon dating? What kind of characteristics will this scientific survey has been approved of by the court to go ahead and be done for the Gyanvapi premises, Vishnu?
The court has ordered for a ground penetration radar, and the word which is used in the order of the Honorable District Court Varanasi is dating exercise. So dating exercise can be by various methods. It can be argon dating, it can be carbon dating, it can be other relative methods, it can be relative dating. So exact technical term will be decided by the SI, but in principle, as a broad principle, it has been laid down that you can conduct dating exercise, you can do ground penetration radar, you can do excavation, and the sacrosanct principle above all is that you don't have to cause damage to the structure. So now the point is that if behind the western wall,
correct,
there is excavation where there is no structure, there will be no damage to the structure. If beneath the Tehkhana of Vyasji there is excavation, there will be no damage to the structure. But all those things is written excavation if required.
Okay.
So first there will be ground penetration radar. In that radar method, it will be ascertained that is there anything structure or images or ideals which are beneath those areas, and then excavation will be carried on. Excavation exercise will not be carried out without any concrete material.
All right, thank you so much. Vishnu Jain, he's the lawyer representing the Hindu side. He and his father have been leading this case for years now. And today, in some ways at least, it would be a vindication for them. Remember, but it's a survey. It is not yet a conclusion. So there will be a survey that is being done in a scientific manner. Vishnu Jain speaking to us as a lawyer. Let's go across now to Abhishek Mishra on the ground. Abhishek, yes, go ahead. Heavy police deployment of the Rapid Action Force of the Uttar Pradesh Police. 30 officials of ASI. Also, my colleagues from our legal bureau also continue to be with us. Abhishek, first over to you. Go ahead.
Well, absolutely, Pooja, and that is what we have been discussing about, that how important it is the day to day. Let me show you the visual first. We are going towards the restricted area because they have made some barricading before. But you can see how the people who have come here today is the third Savan, the third Monday, and it is very important auspicious day as far as the devotees are concerned. Now you can see how they are coming, but at the same time, there are also heavy security deployment. We have been asked to stop at several places. They are making sure that no other people are entering the premises. So that is the actual position here at the Gyanvapi area at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Now, as far as the preparations are concerned, as I already told you, that the team has already entered the premises. They are beginning with the procedure for this survey, and at the same time, what is also very important is that every minute detail will be taken into consideration. And as the Vishnu Shankar Jain, the advocate from the Hindu side, has said that all the possible techniques are mentioned in the report, so in the order. So that is something which would definitely be a part of the ASI survey. So this is what is happening actually here, and at the same time we will now wait for any of the officials to say something, but that is something is very unsure at the moment, because initially also they were not speaking. But we would try to get as many voices as far as the survey is concerned, and at the same time how much time the ASI team will take on the first day of this survey, which is very important in order to the claim of the Hindu side, which was about the importance, relevance and the claim about the Kashi Vishwanath temple, which has been made in the suit in the court. Yes.
So much, Abhishek. I'll be coming to you through the morning as well, because it's going to be a big Monday with regard to the Archaeological Survey of India scientific survey, barring the Wazoo Khana or the claimed shivling area. There's going to be, with regard to scientific measures, whether or not there was any mark of a temple underneath the mosque, and what can be done next with regard to that. I'm wrapping up this bulletin, leaving you with these visuals on your screen, but heading into a very short break. Stay tuned. Lots more on the other side. It's the big Monday. We have big political stories after the break as well.
with facts. She takes the news by its horns.
You think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
So while this diet soda can be your once-in-a-while sort of an alternative if you're having a craving for a sugary drink, this certainly isn't healthy. This is not your alternative to sodas, to regular sodas. Diet sodas have their own set of problems. So if you feel like having an iced drink, go for the old-fashioned drinks. Have water, have milk, for example, also fresh fruit juices, not the ones that come in a Tetra pack.
The other problem here is aspartame. Diet sodas contain this ingredient associated with anxiety. The US Food and Drug Administration approved aspartame as a sweetener in the year 1981. When consumed, aspartame becomes aspartic acid. When consumed, aspartame can have the potent effect on the central nervous system, says the study. Now, this study that followed more than 1 lakh adults for about a decade is among the largest to date to identify cardiovascular health problems associated with sugar substitutes. Overall, artificial sweeteners were associated with increase in cardiovascular disease.
There have been question marks about safety of artificial sweeteners since the beginning, and there were some studies which show increased cancer with the saccharin, and subsequently number of other studies have been done which show that there may be some risk. But overall, if you take artificial sweeteners in limited amount, once a day or maybe twice a day for a limited period of time, it is not going to do any harm. But recent data show that if it is taken for a prolonged period, they increase risk for heart disease as well as stroke.
So if white sugar is completely out, artificial sweeteners not your best option, what must be your alternatives then?
The best replacement of refined sugars are dates, jaggery, honey, dried fruits like dried apricot, plum, peaches, figs and many more.
One of the best apps available right now for digital detox is certainly Flipped. You can join groups with people and give each other challenges just like on other apps. With this digital detox app, you can customize how much screen time you spend each day. All social networking apps will disappear after the timer expires for the specified period of time, but calls and messages will still be functional. The Flipped app is designed to increase your productivity. For instance, when you're studying for an exam, to improve attention and relaxation, you can use the relaxing soundtracks that are already included with the app. The tunes on the app are lovely, with sounds that range from crackling fires and even mild rain. Number 5. Well, this one isn't an app, but if you use an iPhone, then this is a nifty feature. Focus mode, and I'm using it right now. By switching on this mode, you can shut down your work apps for the weekend, turn off notifications when you're working or even sleeping. You can decide when to get email notifications and when you want to take specific calls, etc. It's like a much more effective and specific DND mode that you can use for work or play. Couple that with screen time notifications telling you you've been spending way too much time on Instagram, and it changes the user experience altogether. So there you go, my top 5 ways to ensure technology augments my daily routine but also lets me live under a rock when I need to. That's me signing off, and we hope you stay safe and that these tips come in handy.
It's the big Monday today because there's a mega ASI survey that is being done at the Gyanvapi premises, and this is with regard to a team of 30 ASI officials arriving at the premises with the police team. They've entered into the premises, into the complex. The survey will basically try to find out if there are any temple remains that existed under the mosque premises. Now, the Wazukhana area, remember, the much contested area where the Hindu side was claiming was a claimed shivling, while the Muslim side said that was simply a fountain for the Wazukhana, is not a part of the survey because that's a matter that's already undergoing a different case in the court. And this time, the rest of the premises, specifically with regard to the western wall, is where there will be, as per scientific measures, there has been a penetration order that's been given. There is likely excavation that would not damage the mosque premises. That is the sort of measures that the court has permitted the ASI team to do. About 30 officials of the ASI are currently there, but there's heavy police deployment as well of the Rapid Action Force of the Uttar Pradesh Police and more. You're looking at these live visuals on your screen of the team that is currently inside, and the part of the Wazukhana will be sealed, but otherwise, as you can see from the western wall, which there is a wall between the Kashi Vishwanath temple and that of the Gyanvapi Mosque premises, and simply that wall is what divides and what the Hindu side claims was a part of the temple over which a mosque was built. And that's what the team is currently going to be surveying about. Remember, the Wazukhana already has had some scientific measures done, and there's already been a lot of photography, videography that's already been done. But it is imperative to tell our viewers of why the Archaeological Survey of team is there, and that is because this is after remember that while the Mosque Management Committee filed a petition in the court against this, but it was the Varanasi District Court that has given out an order and has cleared for an extensive survey of the Gyanvapi Masjid premises, basically to ascertain if the mosque was built over a pre-existing Hindu temple, but only as per scientific investigation, not claims or counter-claims that Hindu side or Muslim side are saying. Let's go across now first to Abhishek Mishra. He's on the ground. Abhishek, I see a heavy police deployment. Clearly, it's a very sensitive case. The Muslim side has been constantly opposing this, but the Hindu side maintains that it is time that at least scientifically, legally, as democratic as possible, these measures at least need to be declared of if there was a temple underneath. Abhishek, go ahead. How many members are there? Has the survey started?
Well, absolutely, Pooja. I will like to show you first the visuals of the Gyanvapi premises gate. The gate number 4, where we are standing right now, just we are in front of it, and you can certainly see how today is, as I said, today is the third Monday, which is of Sawan. It's a very auspicious day. That is why a lot of devotees are here who are coming from the morning itself. And at the same time, if I talk about the the survey, the team has gone inside. They are beginning with the process. Since nobody is allowed inside the premises, so it will take some time to understand what is actually happening. But you can see how the RAF force is here, At the same time, there are also UP police personals and a very heavy security deployment just outside this gate number 4, because this has been very important, exercise. Only the 30 people from the ASI team have been allowed. They've already reached at the spot. They're beginning with the process, and that is why, since it's Monday also, so a lot of work for the forces to make sure that no such, activity could have been there. And that is why such a heavy security deployment is here. But what is very important is that what will come out in the survey, this has always been a major demand of the Hindu side, and as the claim suggested in the court, that there are a lot of relevance to this place, the age needs to be defined, and there are a lot of things which has been hidden under the wall. So that is something which is the primary concern of the Hindu side. And to unveil and to uncover all those points today, this exercise is being conducted here. And that is the only reason that today a lot of media is also here. And at the same time, it's not a regular day as far as the darshanas is concerned at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. But today is a very important development as far as what will be the outcome of the survey of the ASI. That will certainly determine.
If you may add here, what about those heading towards the Kashi Vishwanath temple or those heading towards the mosque premises as well? Are they being allowed to offer their prayers? Are the gates open, or has that area been completely barricaded for now?
Well, yes, sir. The area where the survey needs to be done is completely barricaded. Nobody is allowed. The darshanas are only happening from the other side. So there are different gates. So the pilgrims, so these devotees who are coming here, they are only allowed through a different gate, not the gate 4. You can see it's all closed. And this is the space, this is the premises of the Gyanvapi, where the whole survey will be conducted. And that is why the entry has been restricted from this particular gate today. So that is why the darshanas and the other proceedings are happening from the other gate, and that is why it is taking a lot of time also here. A lot of people have gathered here because they want to do the darshanas on the Monday of the Savan today. But what is primary is the focus of everyone here is about the ASI survey, because that is a big demand, and at the same time now the process has begun. It will unveil a lot of things about how the Hindu side has been claiming it, and that is why today the ASI is here and the survey has begun of all those claims which the Hindu side has made in the court. Yes.
Abhishek, it all started in 2021, isn't it, when the 5 women decided to put forth a petition with regard to the Shringar Gauri worshipping, that it be permitted, be made a daily ritual as well. From there now to the level of the scientific survey. What are we expecting today? The team is already inside. They have to ensure the structure is not damaged, but they have to have enough scientific evidence to prove if there was a temple that had existed underneath the mosque earlier. What is the procedure like? How much has the court ordered? Give us more details.
Well, yes, as far as the court order is concerned, there is no restriction to any kind of technique or any kind of proceeding. That is all depends on the ASI, how do they want to go ahead with it. It could be a radar technique, it could even be carbon dating, it could also be some other laser technique if they require and find it more relevant to find and to investigate this whole premises. That is all up to the ASI, and also the lawyer of the Hindu petition side has confirmed us that the court order doesn't define anything specific. It all depends on the ASI to validate it. 1. 2, as far as the time is concerned, there is no foundation. They've already begun it, and as I said, that there is a possibility that it might take a day, 2 or 3 as well, because as soon as this whole exercise is not completed by ASI, they can take the time, how much time they want. And as far as the technicalities are concerned, as I said, that the radar technique is something which could be utilized because there is very clear, thing in the order that there will not be any kind of physical or any other damage to the property, and that is why the Muslim side was also constantly arguing in the court that the way of having this survey is not required. It's in a hurry. A petition has also been filed, but above all that, when the court has ordered about this ASI survey, they gave the green light to this survey. Hindu side is very optimistic, and that is why they have been continuously saying that, they will find something which is way more beyond the truth, way more something which has a lot of relevance and lot of significance to prove their claim at the Shringara Gauri temple and also about the Kashi Vishwanath temple. So that is why this survey will certainly determine a lot of important revelation as far as the claims are concerned. But again, I said it will take time, and it will all depend on the findings of the ASI in this survey, what technique they have used and how they have been able to get the access to the age of these sculptures or any other property which is there and other dimensions.
Stay on with me, Abhishek, because the Hindu side has said this is the moment at least that is one step closer in their legal struggle, which is to have a scientific evidence proven that there was a temple underneath, for which the ASI survey, as permitted, as ordered by the District Court, Varanasi, is there. The Muslim side already reaching the top court, the Supreme Court, stating this should be absolutely unacceptable, this should not be allowed, we will not be participating in this survey. Take a look at these visuals that are coming in live on your screens and the reactions also that have come in, specifically of those who had first petitioned in the court. Listen in.
आज का जो सर्वे होगा, पहले क्या था, पहले हम लोग कहीं जो पहले इससे पहले सर्वे हुआ था, आज की सर्वे में बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क है। फर्क ये है कि उस सर्वे में हम लोग जब गए तो हम लोग जो प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण दिख रहे थे, जैसे खंडित मूर्तियां थी, घंटे थे, तो उसमें धूल लगे हुए थे, उसको उंगली से हम लोग टच नहीं कर सकते थे, हटा नहीं सकते थे। लेकिन आज जो होगा वो वैज्ञानिक पद्धति से, रडार की पद्धति से होगा।
बहुत खुश है आज हम लोग समझे रात भर सोए नहीं है। इतना खुशी था हम लोग को कि हम लोग जाएंगे, जो कुछ पिछले कमीशन में नहीं मिला था वो इस कमीशन सर्वे में हम लोग को मिलेगा देखने के लिए। आज से पूरी तैयारी में आज हम लोग व्रत भी हैं, सावन का महीना भी है और बहुत कुछ मिलेगा। आज
सावन का तीसरा सोमवार भी है और आज हम लोग का सर्वे प्रारंभ हो रहा है। हम लोगों के लिए अच्छा है, बाबा की कृपा है और सर्वे शांति ढंग से हो जाए।
Vishnu, as a legal team, as someone who has pursued it from day one, depending on this scientific survey, because the Muslim side has already moved the Supreme Court, they have already asked that this survey needs to stay, that let the mosque stay as it is. How much do you think you will be banking on the scientific survey details?
No, obviously this is a very, very important report. I must tell you that the courts have power under Section 45 of the Indian Evidence Act to call for an expert opinion. And in matters like this, ASI is the answer. If someone is saying that this structure is dating back to Aurangzeb, is prior to Aurangzeb, all these controversies can only be solved by an expert and premium body like ASI. The Supreme Court has also taken this view time and again, way back in 1994 in Ismail Farooq case, also recently as Ram Janmabhoomi case in 2021 SCC page 1. So ASI is the answer for all these things, and we are hopeful that ASI will be able to reveal various truths which are hidden behind the sealed walls.
All right, so let's try and understand the legal perspective now, because the Muslim side has already moved the Supreme Court against this specific scientific survey. Srishti Ojha is joining us in this live telecast now. Srishti, good morning. It's a big day with regard to the court as well. Now, the District Court of Varanasi had given an approval, ordered this scientific survey. How is the other side pursuing it, and what is the reason that even the court has given a go-ahead for this?
Well, yes, Pooja, as of now, what we know, and this will be an important development now with the survey by the ASI already beginning today, the Muslim side is set to mention this particular, the Gyanvapi case before the Supreme Court of India today at 10:30. Now, they have not expressly challenged the order directing ASI survey yet. All they're set to do, if we can urgent listing of their other plea, which they through which they're seeking a stay on all the pending proceedings before the district court in Varanasi, which had also ordered this ASI survey. An urgent listing in this matter is being sought by the court from the court today, citing this particular order, which has directed the scientific survey of the Gyanvapi premises. Now, what we need to understand here is that according to the Masjid committee, the Muslim side, this particular order, which is directed an ASI survey, is in contempt of Supreme Court's order itself. Because remember, Supreme Court had on 19th May deferred the scientific survey of one particular portion of the Gyanvapi premises, which was the Wazukhana, which is exactly why today the survey that is being conducted has excluded that particular portion where a shivling was stated to be found. Now, according to the Masjid Committee, since an order was already passed by Supreme Court with regard to one portion of the premises, and the Supreme Court had clearly said that the matter requires a more closer scrutiny, which is why the survey will be deferred till the Supreme Court hears the case. So this is the Masjid Committee's stand, which is also what they'll mention before the Chief Justice of India today. They will cite the fact that the Supreme Court had itself stayed such an order in the past, and any order that has been now passed by the district judge is in clear contempt of the Supreme Court's order. While seeking urgent mentioning, they've also said, what the Masjid Committee has also said is that the Hindu plaintiffs, through the suit that they have filed, are seeking an entry into the Gyanvapi Mosque by illegitimate means. Not just that, while seeking urgent listing, they've also expressed apprehension of communal tensions, and therefore urgent orders are being sought from the Supreme Court to stay these proceedings before the district judge. Also, remember the High Court had upheld the case, the suit which has been filed by the Hindu plaintiffs seeking their right to worship in the Gyanvapi Mosque area. That order has also been challenged.
Yes, it also started with those 5 women who wanted to make the Shringar Gauri ritual as a daily affair. Now, Srishti, tell us how much of the Ayodhya case or the decision or the verdict in it could play a role in this, or should this be seen as a completely different, separate case and will have its own sort of repercussions with regard to its verdict?
Well, Pooja, that again depends completely on the court. As a precedence, of course, as a precedent judgment, the verdict may have some value, but the court will go on the facts and circumstances of this particular case. Remember, this case has been pending before the Supreme Court of India. Earlier, also the court had had moved the proceedings to the district judge and had had requested the district court to decide on the Order 7 Rule 11 application first, which is an application where you're challenging maintainability of a particular suit which has been filed. So the district court had in fact upheld the maintainability of the suit which has been filed by these Hindu plaintiffs. The Allahabad High Court had also upheld the order when the same was challenged by the Muslim side. And now that order of the High Court is again being challenged before the Supreme Court. That particular petition is what will be mentioned before the Supreme Court today, along with another request of a stay on all the proceedings that have been that are going on before the district judge, which would automatically also mean that a mentioning of this particular ASI survey that is being conducted will be made before the court. The order will be placed on record, which is what we've heard from the sources who are close to the legal team of the Masjid Committee. So it is definitely an important mentioning and an important we're expecting an important update, because we'll have to see what's the Supreme Court's take today when the case is mentioned. The possible scenarios could be whether a Supreme Court decides to allow an urgent listing and list the case. If the Supreme Court decides to, in any order, if a stay is sought on the ongoing survey, will the Supreme Court grant any interim stay while when the mentioning is done today, or will the case just be listed and that's when the Supreme Court decides to hear the parties?
So it's still a developing story. The scientific survey has been given a go-ahead by the District Court Varanasi. The Muslim side, however, has already moved the Supreme Court. They want a stay on the survey. They say they are not going to be participating in this at all. Srishti, I'll come back to you in just a short while. Thank you very much for now. Just for our viewers to understand, what does this scientific survey mean? Now, according to the District Court, the ASI has been granted to conduct a survey using dating, excavation and ground penetrating radar techniques of the plot where the mosque stands. But this is to ensure that the mosque premises or the area around it is not damaged, and to find out different ways in which they can possibly, if there is evidence, to find that out. What is happening on the ground then? Because that is where all the action is. Abhishek Mishra is in Varanasi, right outside the wall that separates the Kashi Vishwanath temple and the Gyanvapi Mosque premises. Abhishek, over to you now, because, you know, I've asked this to the lawyers as well, that they want, even though this may be a centuries-old issue, they want to at least set it for once and for all, whether there was a temple underneath or not, on which the mosque was built. What are you looking at on the ground around you? I see Rapid Action Force behind you as well, so there's a heavy deployment clearly.
Well, absolutely, Pooja. Very heavy security deployment, as we were discussing earlier as well. And you can see there is a big row of devotees as well. One by one, they have been allowed because today the survey is underway there inside. So only only 2 gates are allowed today, and gate number 4 is completely restricted. There is no way that nobody could enter that particular premises. Now, on the other side, if you can see, since it's the 3rd Monday, so a lot of rush here of the devotees who have come here to see the Kashi Vishwanath Darshanas. And also, the ASI survey exactly reached, way before the time. It was 7 expected, but they reached a little bit earlier. They prepared themselves and then went inside into the premises and have now actually begun the proceedings. So that is what is very important. Now let me show you the visual. If you can certainly see that side, the back side, the white building, which you can certainly see is the Gyanvapi premises, and it is restricted. So that particular area is now on the high priority of the ASI team, which will decide and determine what are the stakes and how important and how validation it has as far as the technicalities of this survey is concerned. Now we'll go to the other side of this premises and would like to show you more of the visuals and what is actually happening. A lot of rush, as I said. And this side also, if you can see today, is the complete restriction on this gate. Now this is gate number 4, which I was talking. Gate number 4 is completely restricted. Even only the the people who are allowed from the court are allowed today. Otherwise, this gate used for the VVIP and the common darshanas are also today is completely closed, and that is what is because of the ASI survey, which is currently underway. Now there has been a lot of buzz about. Let us talk to some of the people about the sentiment they have. आज ASI का सर्वे चल रहा है, आपको लग रहा है आज अंदर जो सर्वे चल रहा है बहुत सारी चीजें आएंगी, पता चलेगा मंदिर के बारे में, आपको लगता है?
हाँ जी, सुबह मॉर्निंग में आरती में गए थे, जब लग रहा है अंदर सर्वे चल रहा है, कुछ चीजें शायद आएंगी।
बंद कर रखा है, इधर का पूरा एरिया बंद कर रखा है, किसी को जाने नहीं दे रहे?
नहीं, ऐसा तो नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ।
अच्छा ये बताइए, आपको लगता है कितना जरूरी है कि जिस तरीके की बात कही गई थी कोर्ट में कि नहीं सर्वे होना चाहिए?
श्रद्धा भाव तो है ही और उसके हिसाब से होना भी चाहिए, और केस जो चल रहा है उस पर तो सरकार नियम जो है वो अपना करेगी, उसके अकॉर्डिंग आप जनता करेगी कि भाई होना चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए।
आपको भी लगता है कि सच आने के लिए सर्वे जरूरी है? सर्वे हो
हाँ बिल्कुल जरूरी है, बिल्कुल जरूरी है।
कहाँ से आए आप? वाराणसी की बात?
हरियाणा से, रेवाड़ी से।
आपने भी सुना होगा बहुत लंबे समय से समय चल रहा है ज्ञानवापी को लेकर के चर्चा।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सुना है, बिल्कुल सर्वे होना चाहिए।
होना चाहिए, बस काम खत्म होना चाहिए, झूठे लफड़ा वाला काम सब बेकार है।
आपको लगता है अंदर कुछ मिलेगा, कुछ जरूरी?
बिल्कुल मिलेगा रे, हम बाबा के समय उस समय के सब बिल्कुल हर चीज मिलेगा। औरंगजेब साला जो ऐसी सब कुछ किया, इसके ऊपर हमला किया है, बिल्कुल मिलेगा, सत्य मिलेगा सब।
You heard the voices of the devotees who have come here, coming from Haryana, from Madhya Pradesh, and different parts of India, and they are very optimistic. They are saying that this survey should carry on. They really want to know and understand what has happened, what is the history and the relevance, and that is why a lot of rush here. At the same time, the darshanas are going on, and this particular premises where the ASI team is here is currently now, has already begun the survey proceedings. And a very important day as far as, the claim of...
Abhishek, stay on with me. Stay on because you are getting us the ground update that's coming in from Varanasi, and it appears that a lot of people want this to be done for once and for all and do not want any more controversies with regard to this issue. I'm also now joined by the lawyer representing the Hindu side, Vishnu Shankar Jain. Vishnu, good morning. Now the survey of the complex has started. The team is there. The Muslim side is, however, also moved the Supreme Court over the survey. How do you see this fresh challenge that has come in?
We had already made an application